joining us, guys. We've got 3 great refs here, so let's see what we can get out of these. I mean, I've seen. I know you two. You two, I can understand why you two old guys are into reffing, because you know, you finish playing, you finish coaching, and then you think, what else can I do to stay in the game? So I can understand why you guys go into reffing. But Seth, I remember seeing you when you were about, I don't know, I can't remember when you started, where you could have been younger than 13. But I remember seeing you at an under-14s game, reffing in the middle. So when did you start?
I started in October 2013 when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
Doing my GCSEs in year 10 in the first year, and Mr. Bonavia, Stuart Bonavia, who was a teacher there at the time and he was a referee, he just sort of said, look, those of you doing GCSE PE, you can get the option of doing officiating for your practical side. And that's just how I sort of fell into it, really.
You did it because it was part of the PE GCSE?
Yeah.
So you started, yeah?
Yeah, so we had to be picked for 4 different parts for a practical side of it. So I think I did football, playing, coaching, and refereeing, and then I just did badminton because it was a bit easier, but can't justify that one. But yeah, no, that's how I got into refereeing, really.
You couldn't play if you refed, could you?
For the first season I was refereeing, I was still playing with Lions, and I used playing very loosely. I was on the bench for quite a lot of the season, but yeah, and I just sort of fell into it. I thought I was really enjoying refereeing. I was also coaching and helping Javier Diaz coach my brother's team at the time when I was doing my FA level 1. And I just thought I enjoy coaching and refereeing a lot more than I'm enjoying playing at the moment. So just sort of went on from there, really.
I mean, for you guys, it must be great to have somebody young and enthusiastic. No, a lot of you guys are probably coming to the end of your career now, aren't you? I mean, I'm not saying that you're old by any means, but I mean, what's sort of what's the sort of criteria? What sort of fitness do you have to put in? What guidelines from UEFA? I mean, I see you training all the time around the pitch, so you obviously have to put in a fair bit of training.
Well, us senior referees, and everyone included, really, we are meant to pass a FIFA test that's like globally used twice a year. It's compulsory, really. You get a chance if you miss it, because it is quite tough. Even some top referees in England have been known to fail it. So, I mean, that's one of the things that has changed majorly in our time. And I'm pushing 40 now, but really still injury bound. I want to carry on for as long as I can. But the fitness-wise, as we've got older, man, when I started, we didn't even meet up to train. It was very much left on your own, and not so much. I'm 38 now. I was 16 when I actually first refereed, and back then it was very much, yeah, you get your fixtures, you come. Obviously you do your test to qualify, your first test, and then you move up the levels. But fitness-wise is what's really changed in these years. And every year, like I'm saying, I'm getting older. My body, I'm getting fitter as I'm getting older. But obviously, my body's it's harder to respond. But yeah, I mean,
do they ever put one of those little meters on you so you know how far you've run during the game?
We all have Garmin watches that are connected. Obviously, we have a group, and our fitness coach, which we have a fitness coach nowadays as well. He keeps track of us there, and we have to log in. Like now, like within lockdown, we've had to actually record minimum 3 sessions a week. But many of us do more because obviously
you're all doing this charity event, aren't you?
We did. It was the Everest Challenge. So basically, we got all the GRA members calculated what it is to get to the summit of Everest. And we did like a stair challenge for a few days, which was good. And we exceeded it. I think we nearly reached the 2 summits of Everest. And we raised quite a bit of money for the GHA. So we've been kept busy during the lockdown. You can put it that way.
And Colin, you're pretty fresh to Gib. I mean, I say fresh. You've probably been here 2 years now, or maybe more.
It'll be 2 years in August. Yeah, it was a bit of a culture shock really for me. I remember asking Adrian before I moved, because obviously I'd retired for 4 years. I'd packed in through injury, and then moving to Gib, saw a couple of posts that there was referees needed, and I thought maybe the warm climate and the beer and the tapas, or, might coax something back out of me.
Yeah.
Apart from,
You just came to Gib off spec. It was there wasn't. You haven't got any ties to Gib or.
No ties to Gib. Always wanted to come here, and then it was actually posted something. I think it was 5 years ago. I came here for the first time. Somewhere I've always wanted to come on my bucket list, and I always felt like as soon as I put my feet on the runway, I just felt like I'd come home. It was a really weird sense. It's that sense like when you come home from a holiday and you know that you're in your front room, you're in your garden or whatever. And it was that sort of feeling. And then obviously spoke to the missus. She sold her business and we moved lock, stock. We committed to coming to Gib. But I spoke to Adrian Bacarisa before moving and I said, should I learn Spanish? I speak a little tiny bit of Italian, bit more French.
Yeah.
Do I need to learn Spanish? He said, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. If you know what if you understand them, then they'll talk even more. So I just, I'd know how to order a beer and a cup of tea and a bread roll with butter on. That's about it. So coming here, that first game was like complete culture shock because, Seth will know this now, he's refereeing in England, but you sort of draw a triangle on the pitch when you caution someone. So if I said to you, Neil, number 7, over here, I would take you over there and I'll bring you to a neutral part of the field.
Right.
Now in England it works because when you do a yellow card challenge, they know you're going to get cautioned. The problem in Gib is if I'm going to caution you, your teammate is running up to me saying, he didn't mean it, it's a load of you know what. The guy who's on the floor is shouting at me. His teammate is saying, aren't you going to caution? That is a yellow card. So the first thing I learned in my first game is, if it's a yellow card, just do a Hollywood yellow card. Hollywood
it's the Latino blood, mate. That's what it is.
It is. It's that passion. And I've noticed Gibraltarians are Spanish, and this isn't a put down, but they cannot sit on their hands. If they think something about you, they'll just tell you. And it's so refreshing.
Everyone speaks with their hands around here, Colin.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it because I prefer that way because there was places I used to go in England and when I turned up, they used to say, oh, it's that cheating again.
Really?
As soon as I turned up, when I was doing my warm-ups,
wow,
little things like that, they would hold grudges. But then when the game started, because they know that I'm going to caution them or whatever, they wouldn't say anything. Whereas in Gib, I cautioned goalkeeper coach from Manchester, and now I would count him on as a really good ally, and we get on like house on fire.
Hello, Kenneth. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Ken.
I couldn't find my baggage T-shirt. That's why it took a bit longer.
Yeah, I know the Adidas deal, mate. You need to get it in there.
No, I was looking for the West Brom T-shirt. I've got one of Billy's.
Don't worry, I'll put a little Adidas logo on the bottom of yours, just on the video. So don't worry about it. So yeah, we're just talking to Colin about the culture shock of reffing in England and reffing in Gib.
I'll jump in on that as well because me having an English ties and Colin coming from England too, he can relate to this. I've refereed in England.
Seth now, he's reffed in.
And Seth as well, of course. Seth's refereing more than any of us now, I think. What I have found, like feedback from like top managers and other officials, is that they like, although Spanish, Gibraltarian, not English, they like the style that the referee. We like on a personal note. I'm a referee that tries to, let things go a bit more. English game is known for a bit more physicality and generally we like that. I don't know how you felt, Colin, coming here and the feedback you get, but that's what I can say. Yeah, Seth, for you as well.
I think it was tricky for Adrian because all he knew from my background was that I was a former level 4. That's when I got injured and I retired. I was going for level 3. So poor old Adrian didn't really know me from anyone else. So on my first game, I got put in, and I could tell by half time that they liked the way I was talking to the players. I was letting things go, and I was chatting to them all the time. And
I think that is, it's a key point, like talking, knowing when to talk and when to, you don't need to talk. But players like that generally. Because as you say, when we go on there, we really have to be like psychologists, really, and manage these 22 players on the pitch. So,
Seth,
yeah, talking is good.
Seth, in the UK, I mean, everybody knows you here. How do they treat you in the UK, being so young? Do they treat you with respect, or is it completely different culture shock?
Yeah, so I think face of match officials now is slowly changing. I think you're beginning to see a lot younger referees, you know, even if it's on the Champions League, Premier League. You know, you've got Michael Oliver, Craig Pawson, a lot of young referees there. So I think players are beginning to accept that now referees are starting from a younger age. And I think it's fantastic. It certainly helps, like these boys said, it's helped my man management a lot, because it's all about, like Tim said, it's managing 22 players on the field of play. So bringing that sort of adaptability back here to Gibraltar, where we've got a closer, tight-knit community where you sort of know the players, you know who's going to help you out, you know who'll be your best friend on the pitch, and one of the players that you can speak to. Most of the time it's the captain, but sometimes that's not the case. So you know which player you can go to and just say, look, your mate's putting in a few tackles or he's being a bit mouthy, have a word with him so I don't have to take further action. And that's the advantage we have in Gibraltar. In England, we don't always know the players, because it might not be a team that we've refereed before. Here, we might referee the same teams multiple times in the season. In England, we'll see them once and then we might not see each other again. So it is just sort of finding out which players early on in the game, which players you can speak to, which players that you'll need to manage differently. And I think it's been fantastic for me, the experience of refereeing in England.
I think it's fantastic now that it's actually a career choice. Because I mean, it used to be a sort of a part-time thing that you did, maybe, you know, when your career was finished. But I mean, for the likes of you guys, the world's your oyster, really. I mean, you get through all your studies. I know that the age in the UK is quite early, isn't it, for retirement? When's the technical sort of retirement age?
I think nowadays, if you're fit enough, they let you go on.
They do let you go on, do they?
Yeah. I know there's a couple of older Premier League referees that are pushing there, or over 50, Seth and tell me. But that's one thing that we want to get with the recruitment side, like you touched upon. It's a career now, you know. Since we joined UEFA in 2013, we've been lucky enough to go to like Centre of Excellence courses where I went with Jason and Stuart Bonavia first time. Then Glenn went another time, and Seth was lucky to go just a few months ago. Basically, that's a stepping stone to become a FIFA-listed referee and really make a career here. I was lucky enough to meet Howard Webb in 2013. If you really want to make a career out of it, the opportunities in bigger countries are great, but being a FIFA referee, you know, is good money. Jason is currently our FIFA referee, and although it's a lot of dedication and fitness levels really high and traveling a lot, you know, it's a great way, if you love the game, to keep involved. And obviously that I wouldn't call us a special group, but it takes a bit of...
It is, Tim. I mean, I did a few years ago the technical director course with the Spanish FA, and one of the modules was done by the head of, he's a Spanish referee, I can't remember his name now, right? And what really shook me was the amount of, it goes into the tactical. I mean, he gave us an example. He refereed the Europa League final between Porto and Braga 6 or 7 years ago. And him and his 3 assistants, they had to study the tactical movements of both teams 2 weeks before the final. I've never gone into, unfortunately, here in Gib and everywhere, no, but here in Gib, the amount of aggravation you get from the stands, and some people sometimes look at me and say, "Oh, look what the ref did." I said, "Yeah, but do you have the balls to pick up and go there?" And he said, "No, then don't insult the guy."
Yeah,
you know, what they're doing, and that's always been. I might not agree with the decision, but you can never if you don't have the courage to pick up the flag or the whistle, just respect the guy, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. Obviously, we make mistakes. The other day, I think it was Michael Oliver. No, he came clean on a Real Madrid
the Champions League. Was it Real Madrid Juventus game or?
Yeah, I think it was Real Madrid Juventus. He said that at halftime they'd already realised there was a mistake.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I mean, with cameras now everywhere, they're always going to get found out at this top level. But like going back to the amount of attention to details that these top referees do, like study the tactics, you know, it is amazing to see. And I've seen firsthand, like talking with Howard Webb and all that. And Seth will know well because he's fresh coming off the course now. But yeah, it really is. We put our homework in. It's not just about appearing and getting the whistle.
Right. Like going on what you said, Kenneth, when we went to call for the introductory course, we actually sat down and had a sports analyst come in and give us a talk and just discuss how, as referees, we need to prepare. And part of the course involves the referee being sent to either a game in Switzerland or a game in France. I was lucky in both times I went to France to referee. But on the morning of the match, they'll bring all the referees in and just say, what homework have you done on the teams that you're refereeing? Because you're meant to know what they're playing for, what kind of football they play. Like you said, is a counter-attacking style? Do they like possession football? Because that all helps in knowing where they're going to play.
Where you're positioning yourself in the field.
Absolutely. Yeah. Advantages, set pieces. What do they have? Someone that fancies themselves as a free kick specialist, so that you're more likely to maybe give a free kick than an advantage. Things like that playing in your head. What sort of set pieces and tactics they might be using? Will they have someone on the goalkeeper? Is there a big number 9 they might play the ball to? There's a lot of things that make you realise it's like Tim says. It's no longer just turning up on the match day and refereeing. You need to do your homework, because obviously the teams are studying each other. It's only respectful that we go in and referee the game the way they play, the way that will benefit the match.
You're all referees now, aren't you? Even the linesmen are qualified referees.
Well, they're not called linesmen anymore, Neil.
No, I know. I'm very old-fashioned. You don't need to tell them. One of these days, I'll lock up my top like you and look really trendy.
What are they called now?
Assistant referees.
Yes, assistant referee.
Yeah. I think.
Just tell me, is that like having a day off? I'm just running the line today. Thank God for that.
By the way,
I think running the line is harder than actually refereeing. When we were growing up, we were obviously both. We didn't have specialised. Now we're just specialised referees or assistants. But I tell you what, the offside over the years has developed. It's always been the hardest decision. So yeah, I don't envy those guys at all.